How's it going, everyone? And welcome and Merry Christmas. Coffee break time. Let's see. We're in the midst of a nice winter storm. So if you see the lights flicker, you'll know that it's really windy outside. So we're hoping we're not going to lose power, because if we lose power, then then we don't have heat. And it's supposed to be about -7 tonight. Yesterday I kind of run around and kind of battened everything down. Took care of the pump house to make sure our well didn't freeze up again, like it did on me about 5 or 6 years ago. It froze and I lost the pump and everything. That night, or that morning when we got up, it was just about 20 below. That was one of the coldest nights on record here, but I'm hoping it doesn't get that cold here. We've got about 3 days of crap, cold weather, so I'll be stuck in the house. Which is okay. I'll get some stuff done in the house. But I'm just kind of out here. I come out today to do the video, to do our coffee break video, and kind of watch it snow and watch the temperature plummet. And I'll tell you what. Yesterday, wife had a doctor's appointment. Usually it was today, but they called her and got it scheduled yesterday, so we could come in yesterday and we didn't have to go out in this crap today. And then we went to Walmart. I'll tell you what, never go to Wally Land 3 days before Christmas and before a winter storm. It was just a madhouse in there, and then we get stuck behind some guy that had a whole buggy full of stuff, which, I'm fine with that. I'll wait. We only had a few things that we needed. And they rung everything up, and then they rung up all the gift cards he had. And then he tried using a discount code, and the discount code wouldn't work because of the cards. You can't use a discount code on those cards. So they messed around with those gift cards. Then they started taking some off, and they think, oh, this is the one that is causing it not to do it. And then they took off all the cards, and then they still couldn't use his discount code, so they had to void out the whole order and start all over without adding the gift cards at the end. So needless to say, we stood there in line. It had to have been a good half an hour, which is okay. I'm not in any hurry to get anywhere. It was too late to get home and get anything started out here. Although it would have been nice, because yesterday it was warm. It was big whopping 37 degrees. So, but crap happens. So we just stood there, and I watched people come up and stand behind us for 5 or 10 minutes, and then move on to the next register. And we already had all our stuff on the belt, so we just kind of stood there. Like I said, wasn't in any hurry. And then we got through that, which, like I said, don't ever go to Wally Land about 3 days before a winter storm, day before a winter storm and 3 days before Christmas. Let's see, Amazon Link. I started my affiliate program again with Amazon Link. The link is in the description down below. It's a generic link. It just goes to the Amazon's front page. And all you have to do is search whatever you're looking for, and if you buy something, then I get a tip, and that helps support the channel. maybe later on. I didn't really know what to put on the link, to link to something that I use or whatever. Well, I use a lot of stuff from Amazon. So I just put the generic link up there for the home page, and like I said, if you go there and buy something from Amazon, I get a tip, and that helps support the channel. And hey, that's the whole name of the game, is if you support the channel, and then I can buy more stuff and buy parts for the stuff that we're working on. I've been fighting with that White Star board all week again. It is just not happy. But that same thing. If I had the money, I would have just spent the $450, got the new board, and we would have been moving on through that machine and getting it finished up. But since I don't have that kind of money to put out for a CPU, we're going to try and resurrect that one that has acid damage on it, and I've been slowly kind of gaining progress on it. I already had money into it. I bought the 3 new chips for it, the PROM, the game, and the RAM. So I just figured, yeah. And it didn't look bad to me, but evidently it's worse than it looks. Sounds like one of those nights of heavy drinking. Is it? But anyway, so I'm working on it, and hopefully I'll be able to get it up and running. I have it booting, and I think I told you this last Sunday, that it boots. I can get it to boot, and then it's stuck in audits. And I may just go ahead and, while I'm working on that board, at least I can get the GI going, and we can work on the play field and get the play field all squared away, cleaned up, and working, because you can play a game. It just doesn't keep score or anything like that, which is okay, as long as I can, start working through it, and maybe I can get that one, get the White Star squared away, maybe not. If not, then everything else will be ready, and when it comes time, I can just get the new board, the new CPU, and put it in, and it'll be ready to go. We'll see how it goes. I see Spooky Pinball just came out with a new release. I think it's Total Nuclear Annihilation. Todd had it on last night on his live stream. They uncrated it and fired it up. Yeah, good looking machine. Really, really nice. The problem I have with new machines is when you have to spend $8,000 to $10,000 for a new machine in a small market like I'm at. I'm in a small market here, so how long would it take to pay off that machine? I know a lot of people say that usually you can get about the same amount out of them used as you can new, because then they become kind of collectors. But to me, it seems like the pinball manufacturers are gearing more towards home use and collectors, and not operating. I'm not an operator, so I wouldn't have it. The only location I would have one on or in is my arcade. And what do you charge for a game? Do you charge $1 a game, $2 a game? 3 balls? I mean, you could dump $1 in it, and you could go through 3 balls in a couple of minutes or less. And is that really fun for somebody? I mean, yeah, you would play it if you found it out on location. You'd probably play it once or twice, and and if you went through $2 in 5 minutes, I don't know if you would go back to that game again to play it. You know, make a special trip to wherever it is on location to play it. Yeah, nice. So, I think they're kind of, well, I can't say they're overpricing them because I know material now is outrageous, and you know that's probably what they have to charge in order for them to make money on a new machine. But I think, you know, if you're in a large market, like around here, a large market would be like Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, you know, someplace where you have hundreds of people moving through a day, and you know, maybe making $100 a day on a machine, and then yeah, I could see, you know, where you would eventually you'd make some money. But in a small market here, where you'd only make, you know, if you'd be lucky if you could make $100 a week on one, you know, what's that take? About 2 years before it's paid off, and by then everybody's already looking for the new machine that just came out. I think Stern, I think they produce like 3 games a year. You know, so if you buy the new one as soon as it comes out, you know, you're going to have to make money on it really quick in order for you to be able to pay off the machine. You know, weren't paying that kind of money for a machine. Now, granted, you wouldn't buy the premium or probably the pro. You'd buy probably the basic to put on location, and then everybody'd be mad because you put the bottom of the line one on location, and they want to play the pro or the premium, the one that's all decked out and, you know, looks just gorgeous with all the toys in it. I call them toy boxes, is what I call them. You know, and granted, yeah, they're fun, but I myself, growing up pumping quarters into a pinball machine, I just can't see myself pumping dollar bills into a pinball machine. Not for an extended period of time, anyway. You know, yes, if I was out and I seen total nuclear annihilation, or you know, Godzilla or something like that out on location, I would definitely go over and probably put $1 or $2 in it just to, you know, just to get the experience of playing it. But I wouldn't go back up there or go there out of my way so I could play it. I guess that's why I like my older ones. You know, and I can charge a quarter. I think I have a couple of them that's 50 cents a game. And most of the time I set all my games at 5-ball. Because that's what I'm used to. That's all I ever played was 5-ball. I piston moaned when you run across the machine that only had 3-ball games on it. You know, 1 game for a quarter, 3 balls. You know, you're talking when I was a kid and playing them, you could get 3 or 5 games for a quarter, 5 balls. And I mean, you could play for $1. Now, you get a quick experience and get a quick rush, and then it's over with, and now you're sent home packing. But tell me what you think, and whether pinball machines and video games are getting outpriced or not. Like I said, I know that's what the market has to have in order to pay for those machines. It's just not my market, and this market never will be here. I had a comment ask me, where do I get stuff to work on? A lot of times, a lot of my stuff I buy at the auction. Used to go every Monday until they were done, and I had enough stuff. I stopped going probably in October I think is the last auction I went to pick up stuff, because I have more than enough stuff to work on. The auction, usually the electronics and stuff like that are pretty reasonable, especially the older stuff, and I kind of like working on the older stuff more than anything. You can use eBay, but with so many repair channels and fix-its and can we fix it and can I fix it and on YouTube, that everybody uses eBay for items to work on, to showcase in their videos to work on. So prices are going to be really high on eBay. A lot of that stuff you can buy working used pretty close to the same price as what some people are selling the used stuff for, unless it's some funky stuff that that you really don't, and people really don't care about, like, I don't know, like maybe robotic sweepers and stuff like that. But you can scour through many pages and pages and pages and hours and maybe find a good deal on something that you want to showcase on a video and work on. Craigslist, you can use Craigslist. Craigslist is tough here. Just about everything's tough here to find stuff. But Craigslist, you can always find stuff on Craigslist. Around here, video games and pinball machines aren't normally posted on Craigslist. They're on Marketplace and on Facebook. And they're the same thing. Prices of used or non-working stuff has skyrocketed. A lot of that stuff. A lot of the pinball machines and video games I was buying, 2 years ago or so. I could buy a non-working pinball machine for, $250, $400. Now it's $900, $1,200 for a non-working pinball machine, because now, the machine that was selling for $1,500 working is now $3,000 working. It just goes to show the times have changed, and people are showing more and more interest in the arcade videos and pinball machines again. Jukeboxes you can normally get pretty cheap. Yard sales, you can hunt the yard sales. Then again, yard sales, you're going to spend, $20, $30, $40 in gas running to 50 yard sales just to find, 5 or 6 items that you can work on. TC, the Pack Rat, donates a lot of stuff. He hits all the thrift stores, which is another good place to find stuff to work on, is thrift stores. A lot of that stuff is not tested. They just put it out for, $1.99, $2.99, whatever, and you can buy all kind of fun stuff to work on at the thrift stores. Salvation Army, Goodwill, secondhand stores, Five and Dime, the 2-Bit store, whatever they're called in your area. Or Second Chance Around, or whatever. So that's another good place to look for stuff to pick up to work on and showcase in videos. Like I said, that one, going to thrift stores isn't quite as bad as going to yard sales. But the main one where I pick up a lot of stuff is the auction. Game stuff, the game systems and all that, again, yard sales. You can find that stuff at yard sales, secondhand stores and stuff like that. A lot of those places don't test them or can't test them. A lot of that stuff ending up at the thrift stores don't have all the cords with it, so they can't test it, so they just put it out, for $5 or whatever, and you can buy up game systems and do it that way to showcase. I had a game store back in 2010 is when I started my game store, and I was buying in a lot of stuff through the game store. That's where most of these game systems, I'll tell you, if I've had it in my possession already, from the game store, or if I bought it at the auction when I'm working on it, or if it's a customer's, or if it's, somebody else's that I'm just doing a favor for. So I bought an awful lot of stuff when I had the game store. I didn't care if it worked or not. I tested everything. If it was non-working, I gave them non-working price, and if it worked, then I would give them what my website told me I should give them for it. And same with the games. Most of the games, I would just go ahead and give them whatever, give them what the book says, or my website says, because I could fix them and get them working. That wasn't a problem. I had to clean every game anyway that came in. So maybe I had to spend another minute on one. But if they really looked bad and really had some deep scratches in them, then I would give them next to nothing for it, because most of the time that stuff there was a maybe 30% chance that I could get it working again. But systems, yeah, I just buy them. Just buy. So that's why I have so much of that stuff. Controllers, I would pay decent for 360 controllers, Xbox controllers, Nintendo controllers. But when it came to Sony controllers, PS2, PS1, 2, and 3, I would give next to nothing for them, because 90% of the time they're junk, and they are the most miserable controller to work on, if you ask me, in my opinion, which doesn't amount to much to a lot of people. So I would never give much for those. And when I did clean up, I probably tossed a 55-gallon drum full of PS1, 2, and 3 controllers into the dumpster when I cleaned up. Because a lot of that stuff, they'd come in and they'd tell me, this doesn't work here, you can have it. So I'd end up, with just a ton of that crap. The only thing they were good for is cutting the wires off of it and using the little itty bitty wires in the cable for jumpers on circuit boards. That's about the only good thing they were good for. Let's see, where else? Those are about the main ones where, you can find a lot of stuff. Estate auctions are good, But the auction house, if you have an auction house close by where you live, that's where you want to go and check. Because you can find a lot of stuff. That stuff just comes in from estates. None of that stuff's checked. They just pack it up, take it to the auction, and there it sits. And so a lot of that stuff, everybody knows that stuff probably doesn't work, so you're going to be able to buy receivers and turntables and cassette decks and equalizers and all that stuff for under $10 a piece. And then you can work on it and get them going and keep them for yourself, or you can turn around, put them on Evil Bay, or or put them on Marketplace, selling them as working, and you can make a little bit money that way back on what you're doing. A lot of that stuff doesn't sell for much even working right at the moment. Vinyl is coming back, yes, I know, and it has been making its comeback, but turntables are still kind of low unless you have good ones. like Technics, some Kenwoods and stuff like that. But generic ones, nah, you know, 25 bucks you can sell a good used turntable for. So, you know, you have to kind of figure out then what you want to spend for it so you can actually fix it, put a little money into it, and then sell it. But those are about the main places that you want to check for stuff to work on if you're going to start a channel, or if you just want to tinker around in your garage or basement. There's plenty of that stuff out there, and there's plenty of that stuff to go around to everybody. Okay, I just came back out to redo my ending because I didn't like the way the last one was. It kind of sucked. When I came out, it was 0. It's 0 out right now. If you hear a little noise in the background, that's my fan running, or my heater running under my sink. Keep my pipes thawed under the sink while for the next 3 days. And I'll come out every morning and and check them, make sure everything's okay out here. But I doubt if I'll be doing much out here. Let's see, this afternoon I went and kind of did some more insulating and taking care of my porch for my kitties, so it doesn't get too cold out there for them. It's, like I said, it's about 0 outside, and on the porch there it's about 40. So kitty be okay. Kitty nice and warm. They're lucky. They run around with that big fur coat and stay nice and warm. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully, well, looks like by Thursday we'll be back in the 40s. We got, I think I already told you what is it, tomorrow like 7, Christmas 10, and then 17, and then 20s on Tuesday. So I'll be able to get out here Tuesday and at least for a little while and get something done anyway. Probably fight with my White Star some more. And not much else going on. Just gonna survive the storm and move on to something new, hopefully. Probably I got the new converter in for the RGB to VGA for a speed buggy, so I think I'm gonna spin that around and work on that some more. Zombie Revenge is kind of ended up with a bad cartridge as well. Main board, got the main board in, it works, but giving me error 01, and that is the cartridge itself, or they call it the ROM board, which is the game cartridge that plugs in the top. I wish I had another ROM board game cartridge of anything else. I don't care if it's Tiddlywinks. I wish I had one that works, that known working, so I could plug it in and make sure that it is the ROM board or the cartridge, instead of, you know, just, okay, well, that's what it says, that's what it needs. You know, I hate doing that, and then you get that in and it does the same thing. You find out that, you know, you have something else going on with the main board. You know, and you can't complain to the seller that, oh, it doesn't work, and because they'll tell you, well, You know, it worked with our cartridges. I don't know, there's something wrong with yours. So, Zombie Revenge looks like I can pick up that ROM board for like $159. More money into it. But whatever it takes. So it may sit for a while before I get that. And then I'll, like I said, I'll work on Speed Buggy and get as far into that as I can too. Until we can finally get the board set tested in it and see if it's any good. Hopefully that game board is. Hopefully that one was just parked because it was ugly. Had a bad case of the uglies. But, you know, I gotta get my hands up under there and get them warmed up. That's the whole problem with it being cold out here. I don't mind the cold. My feet get cold after about 4 hours, but your hands get cold. And then you got to go, you know, you got to warm them up before you can do anything, and you spend most of the day warming up your hands than you do working. So you don't get a whole lot done, but you know, getting anything done is the name of the game anyway. At least you get something done. You know, better than if you're sitting in the house watching TV or playing on the computer, you're getting nothing done. So at least I can come out here and work for a little while, off and on, and get something accomplished, or feel like I did. Anyway, okay. So that's going to do it for another Sunday show of Coffee Break. And if you do have any topics you want me to talk about, feel free to put them in the comment section. Let's see, this week coming, I'm going to go ahead and post every day again. I still have stuff I need to get posted. I posted all this week, and I still have too much. So I'm going to keep posting. I know some of the stuff I'm posting is kind of mundane, but you know, at least it gets the channel out there. I don't know if any of that, you know, some of the stuff is not going to gain any subscribers, but you know, it's something that I enjoy doing, so I'm gonna post it anyway, whether people like it or not. So I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, whatever your flavor is. And it's a good day to spend time with friends and family. If you don't have anybody to spend time with on Christmas, then just watch some football. Relax. Hey, you're still alive. And as Red Green always says, if the women don't find you handsome, at least they'll find you handy. So there's going to be another show on New Year's next Sunday. I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to keep on moving on through. Keep on moving on. So I hope to see you next Sunday on New Year's. Is that New Year's Day or New Year's Eve? Actually, that's New Year's Day. That'll be the 1st. By golly, another year has gone by. Another year older. Boy, doesn't that suck. Oh well. And I hope to see you next Sunday. Until then, we'll see you. Oh, damn, that coffee's getting cold already.